Well, the steep 9-month decline in oil prices is the reason why Freeport McMoRan, a copper miner and diversified energy company, is slashing its dividend 84%. The company says it will also curb spending on oil and gas projects, and that pressured shares, which finished the day lower, as you see there, by about 0.75%. Investors may wonder if other energy companies will follow Freeport's lead. But as Bob Pisani reports, cutting dividends doesn't really happen all that often.
Copper and gold giant Freeport McMoRan dramatically cut its dividend today in response to the impact of lower commodity prices. That may be understandable, but it's a fairly rare event. Companies do not like to cut their dividends. Besides Freeport, there's only two other companies in the S&P 500 that have cut their dividends this year, and they're both energy companies, Drillers Ensco and Diamond Offshore. That's important because many investors put money into energy stocks because they have a fairly high dividend yield. BP, for example, has a 6% dividend yield, Conoco 4.7%, Chevron 4.1%, ExxonMobil 3.2%. That's a lot better than the S&P 500 as a whole, which only has a 2% yield. So any talk of cutting dividends, particularly in energy stocks, gets a certain class of investors very nervous. Exxon is a very sensitive case in particular. They're the biggest payer of dividends in the United States. They pay $11.6 billion a year in dividends. That's more than Apple, which pays $11 billion, and more than Microsoft, which pays $10.2 billion. Moreover, Exxon has raised its dividend every year for 32 straight years. And since 2007, they've chosen to raise the dividend in the month of April. So with only a few days away, and with worries about dividend cuts in energy stocks, all eyes are going to be focused on Exxon. What are they going to do? Wall Street anticipates they'll continue to do what they've always done, raise the dividend, even if more modestly than in the past. They'll likely even resort to cutting capital spending before they cut the dividend. But there's a little more drama this year than in the past. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Bob Pisani at the New York Stock Exchange.